Hi everyone, welcome to Josie's Creative Corner. So this week we're going to make 4 very quick and easy cards and a double page layout. All very easy and quick to make. That's card number 2, card number 3, card number 4, and then a double page layout. Now, of course, we have lots of leftovers, so I've gone ahead and made some more cards. You will need more products for these. You are going to require more card bases, and you're going to need some more gold. But once you have those 2 items, which most of us have in our stash, you can then go ahead and make all these extra cards. So that brings me up to 11 cards, and then I have leftovers still, so we can do 2 more cards and actually even close to 3 or 4 cards here, depending on how you set up your cards. So I'll put a video on how I did all this, and I'll come back at the end. Okay, so here we go. So let's see how that looks. That looks nice there. That looks nice there. And this one looks nice here. Now I've gone ahead and I've got some dies out of my stash. And I went through my Uniquely Creative actually, and I found this one, which is called Water Branch die, and then the Protea Poesy die, and the last one that I used was the Protea Bouquet die from Uniquely Creative, because I wanted some elements. And then I found the scalloped ones as well, and I cut a few of each, and let's see what I can come up with.
I thought Mama had promised me a mockingbird, and each note that she sings kind of reminds me of her. A brand new bottle tucked away behind my seat, and if I get pulled over, I'll pretend it's not for me. There's a problem here, but it's not yours, it's his. And every day he'll wake up longing for your kiss. There's gotta be more to live for in a lonely town like this. The stores are closing and friends have lost their shirt. Although I know it's fucked up here, it probably could be worse. I count my blessings, I guess I'm lucky I've got the work. And it seems like we're happy, at least I know we were. There's so many things to be angry about, and my phone won't ring unless I call you out. But the kids seem good and that'll do for now. There's gotta be more in store for this lonely town.
So to finish our scrapbooking design, I think it needs a touch of gold. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and cut a die cut with gold. And we don't want too much gold on this layout, because otherwise it'll take away from all the beautiful images and photos. So I'm going to cut a few pieces out of it. Oops. In the bin. So something like that. And I'm gonna grab my glue. I'm gonna pop it right in here. And just by having that one piece, it's already elevated it quite a bit. It looks really good. So let's cut a few more pieces.
Let's be honest with each other from now on. And I took things for granted, now so much is gone.
So I've done all my fussy cutting and I've cut all my little bits and pieces. So all I need to do is find a card that will fit this size. Now again, you can go ahead and remove that grey border if you want to. I'm going to leave it for now until I decide what card size I want. So just measure that, and it's 5.5 by 5.5, and I think that might be a little bit too big because our card will end up being 6 by 6. So what I might do is trim it down a little. I want my final card to be about that 5-inch size. So if close 5, that's 4 3/4. Let's see if we can do 4 3/4 on this side. Yep. Since I removed the grey from 3 sides, I'm going to remove it from all sides. So it now measures 4 3/4 by 4 3/4, which means I can get a piece of gold and cut it 5 by 5. And then I'll get my card bases. So these are from Couture Creations, and I buy them in 15 a pack. And look at that. And they're really thick. They're nice, close to 300 GSM, if not 300. They're nice and thick. And I like thick cards for my card bases. I don't like thin ones. So the ones they sell at Kmart and Spotlight and things like that, sometimes you can get some good ones, but most of them are very thin. And I don't like thin card bases because when you're standing them up, they won't stand for long. They'll flop. I think that will look quite nice. Very classy. So just glue it in. That is really nice. Yeah, I did put it right. Sometimes I stick them upside down and then I have to redo it. Okay, so that's gorgeous. So all that needs really is a little sentiment. I wouldn't actually put anything else on these cards. The image is our hero. So I will just put a nice, beautiful little sentiment down here just for you, something like that. And that is it. Okay, so I'm going to work on this little image. So I've actually trimmed it with leaving the gray, and it's come to 5.5. So I'm gonna cut it at 2 3/4. So that way I get two the same. So it's 5.5 by 6. So I think 6 is too high. I wonder if I make it that way. Let's do it 5.5 by 6 and see how it comes out. So we're going to get a piece of cardstock, and I'm going to score it at 3 inches. Where's my scoring tool? If I had a scoring tool. Okay. So we'll score it at 3 inches. Turn it over and score it at 3 inches. If you've got a 12 by 12 card base, you can do it 3 and 9. And then I fold it in. Out. And it gives me my gatefold. So height, now it is 6, so I would like it 6.5, I think. Yes, I'm gonna make it 6.5. Actually, let's make it 6.25. I don't want it too high. Okay. So we got a card base, 6 by 6.25. And as you can see, I need a new blade. That's all right. For now, it will do. Now, my 2 gatefolds will go in here, like that, and then they'll open up to that. And inside here, I would like a nice image. I could leave it white for writing our sentiments. I like the chair quite a lot. I'm gonna cut the chair out. And I'll cut it again on the gray lines. And I'm gonna have to trim it down most likely, but we'll start with that. Now these are my misprints that I'm using, so yours will actually look much better. It will actually have a grey line all around. So next I'm going to get an ink. I've got a dark grey watering can. Let's see how that looks. Now, first thing is, let's check it. So that will actually fit in there quite nicely. Let's see how it looks like once I ink it. Okay. And same with these ones. So they're actually quite large, so I'm going to trim them down because I want some gold behind it. So I would like some gold, so it'll give it a nice finished look. So that will be, so that's 3 inches. So the height, so it'll be 6. And then 2 3/4. And that will actually fit nicely on there. Perfect. So we'll need another one at 2 3/4. So what that means is this one has to be trimmed down. So I'm going to trim some at the top and some from the bottom to make it 5 3/4. And it has to be 2 1/2. So I'm going to remove it from the side. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. I'm going to do 2 1/2. And then I'm going to make sure that I get my, so if you want to do this before you cut it in half, it will actually work better. So I'm going to make sure that I get mine correctly overlaid. So now that should be all good. Perfect. And then on the inside here, so that's 6 1/4 by 6. So we need a piece about there. So again, we can measure it. And it'll be 6 inches high. So that fits perfectly in there. Beautiful. And now I'm going to trim this down a little bit more as well. So this is 5 1/2. Is that correct? Yep, 5 1/2 we want it by 5 3/4. So I'm just going to remove a quarter from the bottom. That'll fit perfectly in there. Nice even border. Ooh, we could cut a little bit more, but that will do. Okay, next we just glue it down. Okay. And I'm gonna re-ink the edges of this one. You don't need to if you don't want to. Close it, and then we have our 2 golds up here. Beautiful. So I'm going to place those down. And now these are my gates, and there we go. Now the gold is non-porous, so it will take a few minutes for the glue to dry. But once it's dry, it's not going to come off. The good thing about that is that you can actually move it around to make sure that it is all even until that dries completely. So there we go. So that's all done. You can pretty much write a sentiment and leave it like that. And then write your little notes on the inside of the card if you wanted to. You can go ahead and embellish it a little bit more if you want to do that as well. Now there is 5 of these gates. They're all different, and they're all different sizes. That way you can make a few different cards in different sizes as well. I'm gonna stop at 11 and I'm gonna glitter these cards. I'm going to get my sponge and I'm gonna cut a piece of it. Then I will get a piece of cardstock and I'm gonna put in a whole heap of glue. And then if you're a good crafter, you will put your pin on your glue so it doesn't dry. If you're a bad crafter like me, you leave it to dry and then you go and wash it to get rid of the glue. So I'm just gonna pick up some glue and I'm gonna put it on and dab it off, and then I'm gonna dab it on where I want my glitter to be. And I want a little bit on there, and I want a little bit down here on this butterfly, on these roses, and then these roses here. That is it. I'm not gonna go crazy and putting glitter everywhere, just so it is in a few spots only. And then tap it off. Now, once it dries, you will, let's see if you can see. You can see the glitter here on the gold. They will come off. So once it dries, what I do is I get my paintbrush and just brush it gently over it, and it will get rid of all this. Then we will have glitter here. Let's see if I can pick it up on the camera. Some beautiful glitter here on these flowers, some beautiful glitters on that flower, and some beautiful glitter on our butterfly. Okay, so that's one done.
Everyone I know in love are all in town, but I've had enough of looking at the snow. I wish that I could go away this Christmas. My family, they don't want me to go away, but I chose.
So what did you guys think? I loved working with this collection. Again, it's been designed here in Australia, which is a plus for us. So 4 cards, double page layout, plus another 7 cards on the side and some leftovers on the other side of my table. So if you enjoyed it, please like, share and subscribe, and we'll see you next week with a brand new collection. Bye for now.